Howdy folks, welcome to Bullish on Farming. Today's April 16th and just opened up a fresh section for the pigs. We're not in our rotational program as of yet, but I moved the pigs to this permanent paddock that I had built, and they occupied that half for about a month. I turned them out March 17th, I think it was. And it was blizzarding and snowing and it was sub-zero. And a few days before that, it was spring weather, but that's a Canadian transition season for you. You have 4 seasons in one day. But anyways, the pigs fared very well. As you can see, they got thick coats on them and they are, on the heavier side. So I wasn't too worried about it. And these Mangalitsa crosses, they've got a nice thick coat. And, they've lived up to their reputation so far. It's been a few months running these hogs, but they've been putting on weight good. They are crosses. The first one I sent to the butcher last month finished at 280. That was about an 8-month Mangalitsa Tamworth cross. And I'm actually sending another tomorrow with the trailer set up with the corral, and it works great. Pig's been in there for a few days, nice and comfy in there. Tomorrow morning I'll shut the door and we'll be off to the butcher. Easy breezy lemon squeezy. And you can see these pigs are just munching down. They deserve it. A month on that side, they've pretty much taken everything they can from the soil. And I had some cleaning up to do in this yard, specifically in that area over there, before I really wanted the pigs digging below the soil. But we're probably going to be rotating through that pasture field come May. I don't know quite when. We're going to see how things grow out and how quick I get to fencing. So the pigs, they got at least 15 days in here, which is great. It won't take them long to really work this all up, but it's better than nothing. And for a permanent setting, it's worked out pretty good. This side I just put T-posts in, and the rest of the perimeter is all, cedar posts, 4-inch woven wire, electric tensile, at about 12 inches high, and they respect the wire. I've put this polybraid line across this way because I want to build another sub paddock for weaners or sows and boars. And if I'm ever bringing the group back in through the fence I've cut out there to load to butcher, because they'll always come back to the corral when I need to sort pigs to load for butcher, and we send pigs monthly. So it's important to have an area where I have more control and don't have to deal with any funny business with the pigs. So it's extremely important that they respect electric wire, but it's also important that we have a good loading system. And so far so good. I've loaded pigs different ways over the years, and every farm is different because you got to work with what you got. And that system that we have set up there, it's pretty dang good. Works for a training pen too. If weaners come in, we're in the warm months, they're trained in there. And then, they're turned out here where the tensile wire is here with more of a, you have the heavy duty boards there, and then on the outside I just have woven wire. So once they're trained to it, they're not going to mess with the fence. And then when I'm confident, they turn out to the field where there's just 2 strand along the whole perimeter. So let's talk about these pigs. Munching down, foraging, just like a pig should be. And pigs are one of the more difficult animals to manage year-round when you're trying to do a pasture-based system, because they don't just eat what's on top, they turn the soil over and they like to eat what's down below. So they can turn up your areas pretty quick. And we've been getting hammered with the rain, so the ground's pretty soft. But when you got root structure and vegetation to absorb that moisture, if you got warm sunny days, it doesn't take too long for those plants to start using it. And that's how you see these grass shoots coming up fairly decently. And I can't even see the display on my phone right now because my phone is so dusty. I'm just pointing and shooting and hoping that you guys are seeing what I'm seeing. I trust that you are. So I'm still keeping up with 1-day ration feeding, and I find that actually that's working good for the system I'm running now. In previous years, I used to always do free feeding, but the pigs would all go off to butcher within, 3 to 4 months. And it would be that 3 to 4 month window that all the pigs were shipped off. Now we're sending pork month after month. At least 2 a month come next month for the rest of the year, and indefinitely, really. We only plan to scale up, not scale down. And so when you're doing that, ration feeding, I find, is working to my benefit, because there's always going to be your boss hogs that are at the forefront of eating more feed. And, as long as you're giving enough feed, all your pigs should be keeping on good condition. And so if you think about 2 pigs going off a month, and I have 9 or 8 in here now, the 9th is loaded up, ready to go tomorrow. And then I actually got 6 weaners in a weaner pen in the coverall that after I ship that pig going to butcher tomorrow off, they'll come in here and join. We'll probably stay in the training pen for a bit and then come here and join the feeders. But as you can see, this is probably one of our smaller pigs. And so that one's going off in July. I don't want that one to be the same size as this blonde Mangalitsa cross behind it, who I'm actually keeping for a gilt, but is pretty much at finishing weight. She's 280, 300. And so if they were all ready to go to the butcher at once, I'd be in trouble, because the guy at the abattoir would be saying, your pigs are getting too heavy. I can't handle them with my equipment. And they specifically tell us to, send them in 250 to 300. Don't want them any heavier. Too hard on the equipment they have there. And to go through the scolder, they definitely got to be small enough. And so the 1-day ration feeding allows, the pigs to figure it out. The ones that don't go ahead and wait are the ones who go to butcher later, simple and plain. And as the heavy hogs are sent off to the butcher, another one steps up to take its place. And so, of course, I don't get all these pigs at once. I did get some in December, and then I got some in February. And really what it comes down to is when they were littered. And so I'm going to be picking up, another 4 to 6 weaners this month or the next. And I stagger bringing weaners onto the farm currently to fulfill the butcher dates as they graduate throughout the year, year after year. Now, we are keeping 2 gilts behind to breed, and we're looking to, grow our pig herd with a farrowing operation, so we don't have to continue buying weaners. But when you're starting out, you got to do what you got to do. And that's what I've always done in the past, is I've bought weaners because, pigs through the winter, unless you're really looking to scale up pork production, it's not worth it if you're just going to sell 10 a year. But if you're looking to sell 10s, 20, 30, 40 hogs worth of pork, then, farrowing makes sense. Here in Canada, weaners cost anywhere from $100 to $200. And, you can bring those costs right down by just feeding a sow, having a good sow, raising a good sized litter. So we're going to be keeping this blonde, and we're going to be keeping the swallow belly. And I'll probably keep a Tamberg cross. And I'm thinking of going with a purebred Mangalitsa boar, because I'm really a fan of the cross, Mangalitsa cross meat. It is distinctively different. The pork is red, and it's marbled with fat. And because the fat melts at room temperature, it has a buttery, sweet, melt in your mouth flavor that makes, the pork just amazing. And I'm not just saying that. The bacon just melts in your mouth. And I haven't tried all the cuts yet, but I like it because it's different than what you typically find in pork, and we always try and do something a little bit different on the farm. And so the reason why I like the crosses is because I just sent one to the butcher at 8 months and she finished at 280. Now, I hear crosses finish anywhere from 8 to 12 months. I was anticipating longer. Not all of them grew out that fast. The one that I sent before may have taken a stronger Tamworth gene, and so it grew quicker. because the truth is that the swallow belly didn't grow as quick, and she'd probably be finished more like at 10 months. And is that going to equate to more feed costs? It probably will. I mean, they're hardy foragers and they do put on good weight from what they forage. But it's still a pig, so it needs grain to really get fat. Unless you're looking to grow them slower and really limit their feed. But I'm newer to Mangalitsa's, so I didn't really hold back. You know, I take the heaviest pig out of the group, take 3.5% of her body weight, and I multiply that by how many pigs I have in the group. And that ensures me that all the pigs are getting at least enough to keep growing. And like I described before, some will grow quicker than others by simply becoming boss hogs. But you can see this Mangalitsa cross over here, you know, it's not quite finished yet, but it's going to the butcher next month. And if it's not ready, then maybe the one after that. But that's about an 8 or 9 month, that's a 9-month hog, 9-month-old hog. And you know, he's probably gonna finish closer to 10 or 11 months. And that's okay. But you know, we sell our pork for a price that we think reflects the value that we offer. And like I said, it's distinctly different. You're not gonna buy this type of pork in store. So I'm a big fan of the crosses, you know. I am a fan of the Mangalitsa genetic and people who run purebred strictly for the animal. I get it. But as a producer, starting a pork program, you know, a turnaround of 15 to 18 months of finishing on a hog is a bit longer than I want to wait to get meat to market. So, you know, if we really start to develop, you know, popularity around the Mangalitsa pork, we may start leaning more into that direction with regards to purebred genetics. However, in today's day and age, not everyone is thrilled about extremely fatty meat. And so, crossing it with a leaner pig like a Tamworth is advantageous because you kind of bring in the best of both worlds. And that Mangalitsa Tamworth cross, I'd say, had definitely more fat than I'm used to on a pork chop, or on any cut really. But dang is it good. And I'm not the type of guy to cut around the fat. I eat the whole thing. And I think fat's actually healthy when it's coming from healthy food that's naturally raised. So yeah, we're really excited. And super excited to get the pigs rotating out on pasture. Gonna have to get a shade shelter fixed up for them that moves with the group, but that's all part of the fun. So anyways, folks, we're just about at 13 minutes. Won't keep you too much longer. I'd like to say thanks for stopping by and God bless you all. I'll see you on the next one.